Hi guys, Log Hedgehog here, and welcome to, the announcement of the final Simpsons Tap Out Awards. Yeah, to think that this is officially coming to an end after doing this for 9 years. It's insane. I'll quickly go into my feelings about Tap Out and what's going on later in the end of this video, but for now, let's just read out what's here, written by Magnus Roberts on what's going on. Hello everybody, it's with great sorrow that we announced the final ever Tap Out Awards ceremony. As the game will cease to exist after January 24 in 2025, this too will bring the award show to its natural end. It's been an absolute pleasure to do this award show every year, and I know all the judges, current and old, appreciate everyone who took part in the voting over the 9 years we've been doing this. This award show started in 2016 with Magnus Roberts, Ted 2001, Lorcan the Hedgehog, and Nuclear Videos HD, and over the years, we've been blessed with other judges such as DT, Dalen Faley, Sam the Happy Tapper, Dead Button, Aloe Arthur, Gamer with Foofy, Board Plays, Fat Tony's Mafia, and we had some wonderful special guest presenters such as The Wheel Gems, Bill Oakley, and Edible Pigs, the community leader of the award community. So please, get out there and vote in this year's awards, if not for yourself, but for me and all the wonderful people who have been involved over the years. Posted below is not a reflection on who is judging or presenting, rather is to showcase everyone who has been involved in the awards over the years. Magnus Roberts, Lorcan the Hedgehog, and Ella Arthur are confirmed as hosts, but there'll be some special guest stars presenting awards. Sadly, the community has fallen apart slightly, so these awards were conducted based on a long list poll sent to members of Ella Arthur's server. Hopefully, this reflects the will of the people, but if your favorite item or least favorite item of this year didn't make the list, please just vote whichever is the best or worst in the selection provided. The worst costumes were hard to do, as most people liked all the costumes, so this may be the hardest to decide, but again, just pick from the worst of the bunch. The updates covered in this year's award are Snow Place Like in the Woods, Christmas of 2023, to the final update, Taps. We have a new award that only has one runner-up. It's unique as you can vote on how you feel about Taps and the end of Tap Out. It felt right to have an award like this. Anyway, voting closes on November 1st, the day after the game is removed from the App Store, and we aim to have the award show before the game is closed for good. Now, go vote. So yeah, this basically, again, this is the very poster itself covering everyone who at least has done something with the Simpsons Tap Out Awards over the 9 years. So again, this will be updated probably later when the thing is finished. But at least now it's nice to have everyone here, and to think my old, bat icon, the old profile picture of that old OC and myself, or the self-insert basically, is near the Wheel Gems' logo. It's like insane to think about, but here we are, we still have everything else to vote for this year's final Tap Out Award. Starting off, we have the best major event of the year, which only has 5 events covered this year. We have Snow Place Like in the Woods, Fears of a Clown, The Sopranos, Summer of Our Discontent, and Our Bart's Future. So again, you have to pick which one out of the 5 is your favorite out of the lot. Then we have the best mini event, only covering 4 of them, which goes between Better Late Than Forever, The Great Burnsy, Charity Case, and the Mayflower Maple Bowl. Next up then we have is the best minor event, which only has 2 events featured, with the Donut Day promo and the 4th of July promo. So again, vote which one of the 2 is the best. Again, this is one of the more unique options here, as this one basically, again, is just how you feel about Taps and how it generally went in terms of concluding the Simpsons Tap Out. Do you love it? Do you hate it? So, again, vote which one do you like. Do you love it or you hate it? Next up is the best character, which there was a lot, and with my language disorder, this is going to be hard to say at times, but here we are. We have Clora, Mayan, Associate God, Weather, Hottenhotter, Wing-a-Ding, Maxwell Flinch, Snitchy the Weasel, Infesco the Wombat, Delbert Flumley, Thomas Jefferson, and future Sideshow Bob. Next up and after that is the worst character of the year, going between Elf Nelson, Dieter Wolfcastle, The Flying Consinti, Wobble Dino, Leia Carter, Booba Homer, Cactus Maggie, Kelso Self Knowledge, Future Lisa, and then Watt. Next up is the best NPC, which I can't recall if this was actually added last year or not, but it's cool to have, this year as well. That we go from Prehistoric Car, Fiddle Fatty, Wiggles, Sprinkles, a Caramel, a Chip Caramel, or a Rock Caramel. Next up, we have the best costume, which again, this one was actually kind of hard because a lot of people generally like the costumes this year, so we don't have as much for the worst, but there's still a decent amount in the best category. We have between Lumberjill Marge, Hunter Mr. Burns, Caveman Homer, Cave Woman Marge, Clown Principal Krusty, the Crop Father for Homer, Cakeback Quimby, Scouting Lisa, and Puritan Lovejoy. But we do have the worst, which only has 4 categories in this one. We have between Off the Grid Flanders, Time Traveler Frink, Clown Bart, and Scouting Bart. Next up is the best buildings, which, just judging from here, we got 9 buildings picked for this one. This is going to screw up my language disorder anyway. We have Mount Swartzwelder Historical Clyde Mill, Springfield History Museum, Hello Krusty, Springfield's Funeral Home, Original Springfield Post Office, Spuckler Barn, Mountain Boobalist Temple, Desert Wielding Yard, Springfield Maximum Security Prison, and Lenny's House. Good old Lenny. But then we have the worst building as well, which goes between School for the Clowning Arts, Maisel and Flanked, The Confidential, Blue Check Caching, Drum Circle, Deluxe Desert Tent, Field Goal of Dreams, Pillager Sack, Futuristic Apartments, and Futuristic High-Rise. So then we end with the last bit here. Thanks so much for voting. That doesn't just go for this year, but any other years you previously voted. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. So again, this is all we have for this year's of Tap Outs anyway. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how people think about taps anyway, and how that whole thing went off. So yeah, that's it. This is it. After voting for all the categories underneath, this is officially it for the Simpsons Tap Out Awards, which is insane to think about. It's insane to think that we've been doing this for 9 years, and to think that outside of Magnus Roberts, I'm technically the only one who's really stuck around. Like, I know Nucleus Videos HD, he kind of retired. He focused on his own life, and Tate 2001, similarly, I think, just went on his own way, or he was just not into it anymore. And again, I'm still making videos. I'm just stopped making tap-out videos. No real conclusion either compared to them. Just haven't made a single tap-out video in about, I want to say 6 years. I do plan to at least make one more Simpsons tap-out video to really give it the finale feel to it. So down the line in the few months before tap-out officially closes, I'm going to do that. But from right now, to think that I'm technically the only one besides Magnus Roberts who has been consistent. I've been doing this for 9 years straight. And even then I've been changing up with the videos, with adding Sonic and Friends, with Sonic, Homer, and SpongeBob, with the voice work I do in my own videos to still give it my channel's unique feel to it. To think this will be the last time I'll ever actually get to do that. Again, it's weird because generally for the past few years, I haven't talked about Tap Out, but I played through the events and a part of me got this feeling that Tap Out was tired. Like, it was around by the time we had the multi-events included, that was when I feel like, at least say multiverses because I played that game a lot. Tap Out That's why I feel like Tap Out got a bit tired, because it just kind of kept repeating itself over and over again. And it feels like, despite the fact that the show has been going on for 35 years, and we are 36 seasons in, it felt like it was getting tired, that it was really picking the bottom of the barrel to pick out as many characters as it does, in the show nowadays. No, because we got a lot of the big heavy hitters around, I want to say, again, by the time the major events were still around, like, I think Moe's Arc or Treehouse of Horror of 2018 was, like, the last big major events of the game's lifespan. And then I think it was the Christmas event of 2018. That's when they do the multi-teamed events. And that was when the game got tired. And I kind of felt like, in a way, if Tap Out decided to close down for good, I wouldn't be as upset about it because it felt tired. It felt like it was getting tired. So, it's actually ending now. Still, though, it's hard to imagine. I've been playing this game since the beginning. I played it since of 2012. Like the old days of the iOS and iPad. I still continue playing Tap Out to this very day, and while all the taps stuff that's going on with Tap, the final event, where now it's going to give out 5 waves of content, where it's going to give every single thing from the previous events. From, I think, the first one had from 2012 to 2015. The second one has 2016 until like the mid 2017, and then the third has 2017 until 2019. Then the fourth, which I think is coming out later this week, I think, is going to have, at the time of this video's recording anyway, going to have stuff from 2019 to 2021, and then finally, Wave 5 is going to have everything from 2022 to 2024. So basically, any character, any building, especially the ones under the super premium option, we actually had to pay real money to buy. Now's your chance to actually buy these characters, do the quest lines, see their animations. Then after that, just gotta wait until the end. Wait until January 24th, and then boom, Tap Out's officially done. It's going to be interesting to see the future of the Simpsons video games, because I want to imagine that this might be where EA will lose the Simpsons video game rights. Because it's been 20 years since EA bought the Simpsons video game rights from Fox. And Tap Out has taken about 13 out of 20 years out of that time, with the remaining 7 going from the Simpsons game to the arcade iOS remake, the Itchy and Scratchy mobile game, and then the Minutes Until Meltdown phone game as well. So it's impressive to see how Tap Out has nearly taken almost like 75% of EA's time with the Simpsons video game rights. I don't know if it's going to go back to Disney now because, I don't know. I don't know if EA will still have full control of the Simpsons video game rights, or much like with Star Wars, it will move away from being from EA's exclusive control to being under Disney's hands, and they more or less can license the Simpsons out. That one studio can do one Simpsons game, another can do this one. It's going to be interesting to see how this go. But regardless on how I feel about Tap Out nowadays, like just how generic, how basic it felt, basically, I still gotta appreciate you all for doing this. I want to thank Magnus Roberts. He's always been looking out for me in terms of these videos. Always want my input with Simpsons Tap Out, and the fact I've been able to do this for nearly a decade, also kind of shows that regardless of how I feel about Tap Out, I still love the game in some form or way. There was something in this game, much like The Simpsons itself, that I still love. That it kept me going. And of course, I want to thank all the other people who have come around over the years, doing their input on these videos too, like Tay2001, Nuclear Fears HD, Death Button, Hello Arthur, obviously, and Board Plays, Fat Tony's Mafia, places like that. These are people who love Simpsons Tap Out, and they did their best to show the love to it by making videos on it. So, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling at this point because, language disorder and no script do not go well with me. But yeah, that's really about it I can think of. Just, again, make sure you vote before November 1st. And if you're still playing Tap Out, get it before November 1st as well, before, it gets pulled from the app stores. If you still want to play Tap Out in any form of way, do that. Otherwise, you might have to do, like, illegal, downloading to get it. But, if you want to play Tap Out, do it while you have the chance. You still got about, I'd say, 4 months now until Tap Out officially closes its doors for good. But after that, then, the most we can do is just vote on this list, vote for whichever is the best out of this year, and then after that, we'll have fond memories of Tap Out. That's basically the only idea I can think of now. So, again, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Please vote below before November 1st. Again, I can't stress that enough. And just thank you again for sticking around for this long. Just sticking around for 9 years of me just doing Simpsons Tap Out videos when I'm already like 10 years in my channel. That's like a good 90% of my channel's history just on Tap Out videos. Which I can't tell is sad or not. So, again, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Please vote below. And again, until the next time, either be another Simpsons video game or just my other content with Multiverses, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Sonic and Friends, the film projects. Until then, see you guys later.